That definition of Aero fuel and fit still drives us today. And all of the shapes, all of those moments I spoke to were before we even had this facility. In 2012, we opened the wind tunnel and we really got to work. And under this sheet was really the future. The future of what we believe the proper triathlon bike should be, and the redefinition of Aero, fuel, and fit. This is the all-new Shiv.
The bike leg of a triathlon is probably the one cycling discipline where Aero truly is everything. And so realizing that, combined with the fact that Kona is the ultimate race, with the all-new Shiv, our goal, of course, was to create the fastest bike for the Ironman World Championships. Finally, with the introduction of the all-new Shiv, we've entered a new era where having all of those things that you need for a race actually represents an aerodynamic advantage. Let's take a look at some of the features that allowed us to turn fuel and fit into aero performance. Starting at the front of the bike, we see a reintroduction of the nose cone, first found in the original Shiv TT. Like on that bike, the nose cone allows us to create an optimized cross-section shape around the head tube, while also allowing us to hide away the integrated hydration hose. Moving up into the cockpit, the central pad spacers also hide away that hydration hose and are designed using the same free foil optimized shapes as first found on the bench. This means that regardless of your pad stack position, there is effectively no aerodynamic penalty from those spacers. Moving across to the fork, rather than trying to minimize its frontal area, like with pretty much every other fork design today, we instead chose to maximize its ability to sail in crosswinds, like at Kona. In order to do that, we needed to maximize the available surface area for those airfoils to work. And so the fork blades extend all the way from the axle up to the underside of the base bar. These shapes are also asymmetrically designed so that they optimally take into account crosswinds from their respective sides. With a down tube, just like all of our other aero bikes, we found that there's not much aero performance to be gained by pushing the shape to an extreme. On the other hand, there's a lot to lose in terms of weight and stiffness. And so we turned to a different free foil optimized shape in order to minimize weight, increase stiffness, and preserve aerodynamic performance. And the volume afforded to us by that free foil shape allowed us to integrate a fuel cell into the down tube. At the back of the bike, like with all our other aero platforms today, we saw that drop seat stays are incredibly important for aerodynamic performance. And so with the all-new Shiv, we wanted to push that to an extreme, but without negatively impacting rear end handling or power transfer. Finally, probably the most striking feature of the all-new Shiv is the integrated fuel cell in the seat tube seat post. In the early R&D of the Shiv, we saw that the seat tube and seat post is incredibly important for aerodynamic performance, even with the rider on board. And this is even more the case in trying to harness the crosswinds like at Kona. And so we developed optimized large airfoil shapes in order to maximize this effect. At the same time, we recognized that those large airfoils had a lot of volume for storage. Unfortunately, this volume wasn't great for things like tires and tubes because they would negatively impact the shape. Water, on the other hand, can fit anywhere. And so a feature that was originally born out of aerodynamic performance has now become the integrated location for hydration. The all-new Shiv saves nearly a minute out on course at Kona.
Every minute makes a difference. That's why it's important to talk about the fourth sport of triathlon, your fuel. The goal with the all-new Shiv was to allow you, the athlete, to carry as much nutrition as possible to be able to blow through aid stations and save precious time, and carry the fuel that you're used to, ultimately, fuel that you can rely on. The gel that you're used to eating, you now have the capacity to bring it. The new Shiv has a down tube fuel cell that allows you to carry whatever you want, and it's double the size of the fuel cell on the previous Shiv. Plus, you can pop out the fuel cell and hide away your tube and tools. And that special drink mix you're used to carrying, you now have the volume to carry it. The seat tube fuel cell allows you to carry 1.5 liters of fluid, which is more than 2 times that of the previous Shiv. But capacity isn't the only aspect we engineered. We obsessed over where to put your fuel on the bike so that it's fully integrated for speed.
With all the reach adjustments and the 3 different base bar positions, every rider can find their ideal fit on the all-new Shiv. 5 minutes with an Allen key and 5 bolts, and your front end is safely packed up without changing your fit. A few minutes in the hotel room putting the bike back together quicker than ever gets you to the start line faster, with more time and less stress. Travel, train, and race with confidence. The Shiv lets you focus on your fitness and not worry about your fit.
And there we have it. This is the all-new S-Works Shiv, a bike that we believe redefines aerodynamics, fuel, and fit. So this launch edition bike will only come in this colorway and this spec once. And the first 6 bikes have already been spoken for. They're going to our pros in Kona. But the next several hundred, those are for you. It comes specifically in this livery, this spec, and even with a custom case designed for it for ease of travel. And reservations are open on Specialized.com. The first bikes will begin to deliver to our riders in March of 2019, and it's an extremely limited quantity. So if you want one, get in line immediately. On behalf of the entire team here that's built this Shiv, we're super excited to bring it to you. And we know whether you're racing in Kona or anywhere else around the world, this is the bike that you'll set PRs on in 2019. Thanks very much.